I've had in my life, I've discovered that structure is a powerful tool for bringing something into existence. And what is this foundational principle? It's part of the design, it's part of natural law, that anything that gets created that's new, it can only become real if it's repeated again and again and again, and agreement is got for it. That's how this domain exists. That's how you have an ego. That's how you have persistent problems. That's how you got programmed to be a human being. The body does the same thing every single day. And every part of the cells of the body are in agreement with that. And that gives cohesiveness, stability to your embodiment. So therefore, that's true in our personality structures, in our emotional body structures, in the habits of our energetics coming into life. We get habituated and therefore repeat consciously or unconsciously. You could say it's instinct. We could call it intuition. We could call it whatever you want, but the body is seeking to keep reaffirming its existence by creating structures that allow it to stay intact, aggregated together, and to seek agreement outside of itself for its existence. That's the foundational principle. What we're doing here in New Dharma is mobilizing that principle, where we are creating the best structure that I have been able to see, or we've been able to co-create up until now, and repeating it exactly as it is again and again. The more pristine it is, the more perfect it is, the less it's distorted this way or that way, the more true the intent that's behind this can manifest. We all share, knowingly or not unknowing, a common purpose for being. We've all awakened to it. We're living aligned with it. This is simply one demonstration, one particular structure that allows you to see this principle for yourself. And what it becomes is what will resist a new structure? All the other structures that don't want to be disturbed, that don't want to be disrupted, that don't want to be thwarted to their shallow, unexamined, repetitive pleasures and enjoyments and fears and strategies. The ego. So holding the structure sacred is your opportunity to meet anything in you that wouldn't want to hold that, who wouldn't want to see the sacredness of the opportunity that the structure is. It's not that it's the absolute truth, it's an interim truth, because this structure is constantly expanding and perfecting and growing. But in the ego's paradigm, every part of your system is learning to move into alignment with being a channel and an instrument for the thought into the world and the grace and love that that brings, the Satchitananda. This is new territory for an ego. Ego has to learn that this is something it would want. It is something where we bring in the parts of ourselves that are most open to kind of meet the parts of ourselves that are still afraid, still reactive, still conditioned by that endless repetition and agreement for what you've been up previously. So it's true in all of existence. This is the design. So honoring the structure is key. Now, what does this mean? It means that when you come up with something that you see could be better or should be different, you surrender it. Just surrender it. Be empty. Be just this vehicle without any agenda, so that that intent that's behind this can manifest itself more perfectly. So when we do nothing, just follow the structure, we're out of the way. And the intent can manifest more perfectly. Now, why do we do this? Well, it gets your ego out of the way of taking claim or blame for what arises. It gives you a space to step back in that yogic paradigm that the Gita speaks to. And you get to hold the space and feel the song singing for everyone who's arising in the space you're holding, because you've become the song. The more pure, the more perfect, the more fully we can give ourselves over to any one moment, and these are precious moments for each of you and for each person who's learning to align themselves. Because then that very principle that is the source of our purpose inhabits you. You become that. And those little parts of you that are still screaming and complaining and fearing and strategizing and taking positions and all the rest, quiet, bow to, become humble before that which is coming.